Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and happy Wednesday to you. Wednesday means it's time for stamping through my stash. And the reason for that is twofold. Number one, when you buy your stamps, you always need to make sure that everything is in good working order. Are the stamps stamping clearly? And you know what? 99.9% of the time they will. But sometimes there can be an error where the depth of the stamp is not good enough and you won't get a crisp image. So you have 3 months before that's the window in which you can return something to Stampin' Up! At no cost to yourself if it's defective. So when you order your supplies, stamps, ink, whatever, check it out. So stamp those stamps and use those dies and make sure they're working to your satisfaction. That's the first reason. The second reason is that when you do it, you are going to use your stamps more often because your creativity is going to be triggered. It's the fire is going to be ignited and you are going to want to create. And then actually there's a third reason. If you save your stamped images and your die cuts and tuck them into that stamp set, because then the next time you reach for it, you will have a nice little surprise waiting for you and you will have a jump start on your first card or scrapbook page or gift item, whatever you're making with your beautiful things. My name is Jackie Vandersar Boot, although you will still find me in the demonstrator locator with my old last name of Bolcha. So Jacomina Bolcha in Europe and Jackie Bolcha in Canada. And anyway, it's good to know who you're talking to or who you're listening to, and that's me. And today I'm going to show you Stars at Night because that was the most requested one. So here is the stamp set. And what makes this stamp set even more special is that it comes with a hybrid embossing folder. Now, I just did a YouTube short on this and it's also on Instagram as a reel. So this is the embossing folder and you can use it all by yourself, all by itself. It's beautiful. But then take a look at this. There is this die that goes with it. And if you go like this, turn your die so that it's facing cut side up, and then it kind of locks into place, okay? And then, well, this one I've already embossed, right? But then normally you would take your paper and lay it in there. And let's see, I'm just gonna try to move it gently. We'll see if it actually works. And then see, it cuts. So then what it does is, let me see, what can I show you? I have one of the three. I've been playing because I have some ideas. So there it is. And look at, here are some more. So I did a bunch of die cutting. And look how pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? Now that great big gold one, oh, I see it. Okay, because you know what I'm going to do today with you? I am not going to make a card. I am going to make an ornament. And that is fun. I had a flood in my basement this past summer, and my son was home, and he was such a darling. He worked so hard, and he got all my stuff out of the basement, but there were a few things, and there was only 2 inches of water, maybe max, but that's all it takes. My Christmas tree was in a cardboard box on the floor, and so when I opened it up, it had gotten wet, of course, and I had a lot of Stampin' Up! Ornaments. I had a Stampin' Up! Tree, that's what I called it, and it had paper ornaments that I'd made over the years, and I had to throw them out. That's sad. That means I get to start again. So I'm going to show you. But first, so this is what the embossing folder looks like. This is what it looks like when it's been die cut and run through the folder at the same time. And then you can see all the other die cuts that come with it. Now, I'm not sure about the leaf. I don't see quite how that fits in with the Stars at Night. But it sure is handy because maybe we'll use it on our ornament. So now I'm going to show you the rest of the things. Oh yeah, this one, this, oops, I'm bumping into something here. Let's just get this back. This is one of the reasons that I bought the stamp set because I have to say I was being a little bit of a spoiled toddler. When I saw a hybrid embossing folder, I thought, who wants one of those? And there's so much money. And so I almost didn't get it, but it's just so beautiful. So I'm really glad I got over my little pout. And now we're going to do the stamping. So I'm just going to move this aside. The other thing I wanted to share with you is these. Oh yeah, look at this. Let me get my little pokey tool. I already cut these out, and I cut them out using our adhesive backed glimmer paper, and it's in gold and silver. The problem with this There's good news and bad news. The good news is that it makes for very cheap embellishments that are beautiful. So then you don't have to buy those gold stars, which are also nice, but they're a lot more money. The bad news is that it's not available in North America. It is available in the Netherlands. And guess where I am right now? In the Netherlands. And guess who has room in her suitcase? Yeah. So it's also November 29th today, and November 30th is the deadline for signing up for my Christmas class. And it also includes Noel, die cut with this, and some other beautiful things. So if you need any information on that, let me know. So let's put this aside and let's do our drill, and then we'll create. Okay, I'm just moving this aside, hopefully not spilling anything. Now we're gonna have our piece of white, and then, so when I open this up, you'll see a few things. You'll see that some of the stamps, these I haven't used yet. They're still in between the two sheets. These are the ones that I've used. And when you've used them, you put them back in. Now, another tip, I can already feel that this one isn't so sticky. I've been playing with it. It's been put down on my desk. Photopolymer will also attract the dirt from your hands and from your environment. So if you're not a clean freak, and I am not a clean freak, these probably will get dirty a little quicker. And we've also been doing some renovations, so there's more dust and grit in my house than what is normal. So I need to wash this so that it will stick better to my blocks, especially with little ones. When they get dirty, you will lose them because they will fall off. Another tip, this is a long, skinny stamp. So if you want it to lay straight on your surface, then what you're going to want to do is lay it down. And then even then it can be tricky. So you kind of want to lay it down and then find a long block and stick it to the block. And even now I can see a slight curve to it. So this one's tricky. There's no doubt about it. You can use your grid paper as a guide so that it's straight on, or you can purposely curve it, okay? And I kind of like that idea. If it's not going to be perfectly straight, then why not make it curvy? So let's get that stamped up. That's my trick number one. Because you know what? Some things can drive us crazy. And if you want something to be straight and it's off every time and you've got to stamp it 10 times before you get it right, that is not going to put you in the holiday mood. And just like they say you could taste the love in cooking, I think that you can maybe taste the frustration, feel the frustration in a card that has driven you crazy. I don't know if that's true, but who knows? Now, I should check to see if my volume is up as much as it should. No, my volume was not up all the way. So I apologize if the first bit of this wasn't as loud as you would like it to be. The things that I need to count to check on, really. Okay, so look. That does look pretty cool, doesn't it? It is kind of magical to have that curvy. Okay, let's do some more. So remember, you pull them out like so. Keep the skinny piece because it's going to go on top inside. And then this piece you can use, this thick piece you can use for shaker cards. So you just kind of peel them off. Be nice to your stamps. And just use the flat of your hand. And then I'm just going to lay this one on like so because I think maybe I have room for a few more. Here's a little guy. And here's a whole row of stars. So you could make these, put these on the bottom of something maybe. And you could also use this for, oh, look at that. There's a little piece of, at first I thought it was a herb, but it's not. It's a little piece of cardstock that who knows where it came from. Probably from my die, who knows? Okay. We will do the other ones later. Or maybe this one fits. I like to try to fit as many on as possible. I see some really pretty little background stamps here. Okay. And like I said, you know what? If I wasn't stamping through my stash, I might not have known about all these cool stamps. And, you know, when you order something, you might have had one thing about that stamp that you loved and that's why you ordered it. For example, for me, it was this shape of die that goes with the saying. So I wasn't paying attention to all the other little things. So here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And look how nice. It's quite pretty. Let's do some more. We still have this big star, this one. And we have another nice saying, a nice Merry Christmas. This one is also nice for like a New Year's card. So if you're not on the ball and don't get your cards out on time, just remember, people are always happy to get happy mail. Here. That's cool. And then you could also stamp the little star in the inside or put a little die cut in the middle of that. And let's lay that here. I'm being lazy again. I'm taking stamps off without cleaning them. Do you ever do that? Okay. Here. That's really lovely. And, you know, it's not too often that I say, oh, that's ugly. Not often. Every once in a great while. That's why we have a big catalog. You can get whatever you want. So there are 2 leaves and 2 die cuts. Let's see. That got a little bit too close. Here, let's do them again. I ruined my star. But they're really pretty. And I'm just looking for blocks in case you're wondering what I'm doing. And here is the Merry Christmas. And that's a lovely font. And to me, fonts are important. I love the look of letters. So I will get something that maybe other people won't get. I'm really picky. And sometimes I won't buy a stamp set, even though I love the words. If I don't like the font, it just drives me crazy. I have a friend who designs her own stamps, and she uses the handwriting from her sister who died. It's a lovely concept. It really is. I think it's just so nice, and I'm so happy for her. But I was brutally honest, and I told her I just can't stand that writing. And so I won't buy those stamps from her. Well, I can't anyway because I need my Stampin' Up stuff. But still, see, look, so this one will fit in here. How cool is that? Okay, so those are all the stamps in here, and I've shown you all the die cuts. And so guess what time it is to do? It is time. Here, I want to show you this, how nice it looks in gold here. And then look, if you were making a card or something, you could do this. Now, someone asked me to do this one and Night Divine at the same time, but guess what? There are way too many things. So that looks beautiful, doesn't it? Here is the Night Divine. This is going to be next Wednesday's, okay? Because while I've used some of the sayings and they're beautiful, take a look at the dies that go with it. Look, we've got a camel, we've got the manger scene, we've got donkeys and a lamb and the nativity. It's just beautiful. So I want to spend enough time, and next week will be the first Wednesday in December. So I think it's perfect to start with this. And if you're a Christian, this is the most perfect stamp set. Really, I love it. And I love the font. So this one has my name all over it. Okay, so let's get to work. And you know what I do as well? Look, I took a little piece of leftover. Oh, that's now out of the way. Oh, my thing is freezing here. And I use the deckled circle dies to cut out a whole pile of little rings. See? So if you lay them all out on your piece of gold all at the same time, then you will get this. And this is why I did that. Because I want to make a little dangly ornament in here. And I thought I would use the blue and the gold, like so. That's how I'm going to start. And let's see what else I need. I need this. And I need some ribbon, but I can wait with the ribbon. Now, we're playing, okay? I have not made this. I am doing this off the top of my head, and I hope it works. So anyway, this was the circle that was left over, and I thought I will emboss this, and maybe we'll do something else with that. So, and I'm not sure which circle. I thought originally to use the biggest circle, so you guys can watch along with me. And then, see, I want it dangling, and I thought it might be nice to have a little bit of space on either side. This one feels a little bit tight to me. Okay, so then I didn't want to have to cut a hole in my star because I thought, oh, that's going to be a little tricky. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to make a star sandwich. Okay, and I'm going to use liquid adhesive on one side and tear and tape on the other side. And I'll tell you why. Tear and tape is going to be really good for holding down the there. Now we're going to use, I didn't finish my sentence, I'm sorry. The tear and tape is going to be really good for holding down the twine, that gold twine. So, oh, this is tricky, okay? That's why I hardly ever use it. I'm a lazy stamper, and liquid adhesive is quick and it's forgiving. And as soon as you learn to use it without squeezing too much out, you don't have too many troubles with the sticky fingers. Okay, so now this is our liquid adhesive, and I'm just putting on a gentle dab. You know what else I could have done, and that would have been actually the best idea? I should have used our adhesive sheets, and then I would have had 2 stickers of this, but I didn't. So, no sense crying over spilt milk. Here, maybe I will do one in a YouTube short. And now, just to get it adhered right in that tip, I think I've got to use all my resources. I'm looking for my glue dots. And my glue dots are not where they're supposed to be. It's not good, Jackie. My glue dots were on my table, but they were not in the spot where they're supposed to be. So I have a lot of stuff on my table. So we're taking the glue dot. There we go. And remember, the last glue dot should always be underneath that tab. Okay, lift it up, and there's the glue dot. Pick it up with your pokey tool. Glue dots don't like your fingers, okay? Or they like your fingers very much, and they will stick to your fingers. And that is not what you want. There. There. We don't want the glue dot sticking out either. So now we're going to guide the twine so that it's right at the tip of the star. Okay? And I'm going to add a little more adhesive just because I want to have a really good stick happening. Okay. Now we're going to put the 2 together, and then we have a star sandwich. Okay. I'm just sliding it off my table. And there, that looks pretty decent. I've committed. Okay, now we're going to turn it around. See, and it's okay if there's a slight blue shadow behind the gold. That's totally okay. That looks good. And now, have I decided? I'm going to do it with the blue side up just so that you guys get the contrast. And now, there, I am going to, well, now that's the smaller one. What does it look like with the bigger one? You know what? I am going to go with the smaller one. The big one maybe is a bit too big. I'm going to use the bigger one with this and put a star on it. So now I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of my circle. And I'm going to find the widest part, and I think that's right here. And look, the glue dot is at 12 o'clock. And I'm going to, we'll see if I've got it right. No, you know what? Let's turn it this way. Let's not be silly. Let's not work in the dark. Here. And there. Now I could, for extra stability, cut out another circle to put it on top. But I don't think I'm going to do that. What I am going to do, let me see. Actually, I probably should do that, but I'm just going to put a little piece of tear and tape for now over top of the glue dot. That way the glue dot's not exposed, okay? I can always cut another circle, but I'm not going to do it right now. So I'm turning this around, and then I have here, oh, I just have a die. I'm going to find the little gold cutout that I did, and it's going to go in the middle. Okay, I was struggling to get this plastic off the spool, and what you do is you squish it up so that it sticks up, and then you can get your pokey tool in between, and then you can just slide that off. Because I have a confession. I have once just broken the whole thing apart to get the ribbon off. Okay, now I need to find out where it starts. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so we're going to be using this as well. Now I did go ahead and make another circle. Okay, I just think it needs the stability, and so we need to take another little bit of this adhesive. So if you're watching this later, feel free to just fast forward over these things. I don't have the technological ability or the time to go back and speed up certain sections of my video. Okay, that's why we have the fast forward button. So now I'm just laying that on there, and I'm carefully going to just slide that in. And it's going to show in spots, okay? There's going to be places where it's not exactly the same because it's a deckled circle, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. It's kind of nice to have a little bit popping out. Okay, so now we have this, and then here we have, remember I cut that little star out of adhesive backed paper, so you just dig in a little bit into the, just go like so, and then look, there it comes. And now I'm going to look how pretty that is. Isn't that beautiful? And now, you know what I should have done, and I didn't think of it because this is my first go round, I should have done this in a loop. And I didn't do it in a loop. That would have been really easy to do it right away. Now I can't get in there again to do it. So if you're making this later, loop it first and tuck it in. I don't have a loop. Unfortunate. Highly, highly unfortunate. But you know what? I'm not upset with myself because I think this is pretty awesome. So now I'm going to take this, and instead of a bow, if I do a bow, that'll be a bit much. So I'm just going to tie this in a tie. I think it needs to go this way. There. It just ties it in, pardon the pun, the blue and the gold. And then there. And then we're going to grab good scissors. My good scissors are missing. See, this is how I know. These are my regular scissors, and oh, I know where they are. I started knitting. You know what? I'm going to change the camera for a minute. Where's my knitting? I'm knitting a sweater for my daughter. Take a look at this. So it's going to be a turtleneck, and it's probably about halfway done now. I took it all apart. But that's where my scissors are. They're on the couch where I was knitting last night. So let me grab them. I found them. This is how I know they're my ribbon scissors. And I'm just going to go like so. And like so. And now I have a cute little ornament. And it dangles. See? It's hard to see. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch it. Here. Look. And how pretty is that? And then if it turns around, see? It's good on both sides. Super simple. Wouldn't that be a fun crafting thing to do with your family? To make some neat things? You could make them in all kinds of different patterns, color combinations. Mine is actually really simple. It could definitely be even, I don't know, maybe nicer. I think it's really lovely. And the fact that you made it just with paper is really cool. So that is all I have to show for you today. You could add some more diamonds and things, but I kind of like it the way it is. I don't want to make it garish. In the middle, you could maybe do another one. Let's have a look. Maybe we'll do that. Now, as soon as you start thinking gems, then you have choice stress. Keuzestress, they say in Dutch. So here are some iridescent gems, iridescent rhinestones, I think. Then we have these. These are tinsel gems. And I was thinking maybe the dark one. And then we have these rhinestone waves basic jewels, which are retired. But I know you keep all your bling. I have a little box with all my stuff in it. So I don't know if I want to go with a color, or I think I might stick to iridescent, which picks up everything. I'm going to go with a medium size. And I'm just going to put that in the middle, because then it looks like it's got some gold in it. There. So that'll catch, oh yeah, that looks really pretty. That will catch the lights on the Christmas tree as well. All right, guys, that is a wrap. I hope that you enjoyed this, this Stamping Through My Stash. And yeah, I'm so happy to interact with you. And before I leave, I must tell you, because I promised YouTube that I would, I now have membership options. So you can join my channel for different memberships. If you want more perks, the first level is you get to have an extra bonus video every Thursday. And on Wednesday, I will post list with all the measurements and the stuff that you need, and that will be exclusive. No one else will be able to see that. And you'll get a video on every Thursday. And then the next level up is, I think, $8.99 a month. And then you also get a PDF tutorial bundle. And someone asked me, what is that? Well, there'll be about 14 or 15 different cards in there with written descriptions of how to make them, with pictures and everything. They're really wonderful. They really jumpstart your creativity. And the highest level is $12.99 a month, and that is, then you also get a weekly training video on Fridays. This is really meant for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, but it's really for anyone because it also includes, self-care tips, motivational speaking, and just, yeah, business tips as well, regardless of what you're doing. So anyway, those are there for you. I'd love to have you as that part of my community as well. But regardless of how you're involved with this channel, I'm so happy that you're here. I hope you have a super day. Bye.